What's up, Buttercup? And welcome back to my channel. Of course, it is me, it is she, Barbie P. Welcome back to my channel. Yes, welcome. And of course, we're going to jump into the video. And I have to give my disclaimer. I am not a doctor, a dietitian, a nutritionist, or Jesus. So I always recommend you seek professional help while you are on your weight loss journey. However, I'm just a girly that lost 107 pounds, and I got some tips and tricks that help me out, so hopefully they will help you out. Which brings us to today's video. People are always asking me, what is the secret to weight loss, and what is the secret to maintaining your weight after losing this fat? They're like, you lost 107 pounds. How are you maintaining this? How are you ... And I'm like, sis, I'm still trying to lose. I want to lose another 25 to 30 pounds. Okay. I'm still on this journey, but I'm loving where I'm at. And they're just like, how are you doing this? How come you haven't gained nothing back? I'm like, my simple thing is I do not let myself gain no more than 5 pure pounds. Now, I know you're probably like, what is 5 pure pounds? Don't rush me. We're getting there. I'm not talking about, the hormone weight fluctuation, with your cycle and your period. I'm not talking about that because, with women, we can retain water certain times of the month. That's why I always recommend, if you could, get you a scale that's not just showing your weight, but that breaks down and shows, your muscle mass, your water, your BM. Like, get you a scale like that. Amazon, they have it. I love mine. And I can actually see when I do gain about 2 pounds, I'm like, okay, I gained 2 pounds. But it shows me I gained 2 pounds of water. And also, like, if you're eating foods that's really salty, high in salt and stuff, you can retain water. So when I say 5 pure pounds, I mean you done ate for a good minute. However long you done ate, whether it's 2 days, 4 7 days, 10 days, you've been eating good, you've been slipping. And even after you take a good poo, that scale shows you have gained 5 pounds, and not even muscle, but you have gained 5 pounds of pure fat. I don't let myself get that high to 5 pounds, but 5 pounds is the cut off. I used to say 15 is the cutoff or 20 is the cutoff, but no, because when I used to let myself gain 20 pounds, and what would happen is I would lose throughout the year 30 to 40-ish pounds. And then during the holiday season, I would even say like creeping in October, but definitely November and December, I would let myself kind of just eat whatever because it's the holidays. It's winter weight. I would let myself do it. But then by the time January comes, out of the 40 pounds I lost in that year, I have gained 20. So you see how that works? So 5 pounds is honestly the trigger. That is the trigger. And most people don't really gain 50 pounds overnight. They're gaining 3 and 5 pounds here and there throughout the year. And they just ignore it. Because I've done it before too, Buttercup. When I was 300 pounds and 8 ounces, even before I got to 300 pounds, when I was hanging out in 255 and 260, 270, I did not like those numbers. But what I noticed was the bigger I got, the less I got on the scale. The less I started looking, I stopped looking in the mirror. That's when I was like, okay, this is not good. Because you're looking in the mirror, that's holding yourself accountable. When you're getting on the scale, that's holding yourself accountable. So that's why I say 5 pounds is the trigger, because it's like, okay, I see it. I am here. We can stop. With 5 pounds, that's like 1 to 2 weeks of just clean eating, getting your steps in. It's more manageable. You can work with those 5 pounds. It's like, hey, okay, I nibbled, I ate, getting money. Like I did that. Now we're going to bring it on in. Because what happens is, like I said, people gain 3 to 5 pounds throughout the year. Like pretty much, people gain kind of like 3 to 5 pounds a few times throughout the year. So that 5 pounds is like maybe from January to March, you gain 5. But now from March to July, you done gain an extra 10. So the habits of the 5 pounds will eventually grow to the habits of 50 plus pounds. And that's when we got to do the work. That's when we really have to lock in for a couple of weeks, couple of months to really bring that weight down, or lock in for that year, depending on how, you work with losing weight and all that type of stuff. So yes, I lived that cycle and I don't want to do it no more. I have worked so hard to get to this body that I have, and I'm working even harder to get to the body that I want. And to think I would have to do this again? No, I need to keep what I got. So that 5 pound cutoff is just an early warning system. Like I said, it's still manageable. It's enough to fill it in your clothes. And it's also enough to, where your stomach might be flat or semi-flat, now starting to poof. How your thighs will fit in there. You got to do that jump to get into stuff because, you're getting more snug. So you can manage it. And like I said, with those 5 pounds, you're eating out more and you're eating less. Mindless snacking returns. So even though it's just 5 pounds, it's going to grow, like I said, to that 50 because you're going to start slipping. And the number of the scale reflects that lifestyle. Yeah. So if you gain 15 pounds, you've been eating like someone that gains 15 pounds. You don't need a new plan. You don't need to go on a crash, diet. You don't need to, fast for 7 days with nothing but just water and air. You just need to cut back, start tracking again. Because what happened with me is, and that's one thing I did learn from my nutritionist. I do thank her for that. Even on the days that I do overeat, and maybe I overeat, and most of the time it's peanut butter, because I love peanut butter with chocolate and a banana mashed together. Ooh, that's my period craving. It's amazing. But you can rack up in calories with peanut butter. So that's why I have the powdered peanut butter. But anyway, you want to track, even if you're overeating, even if it's still holding yourself accountable because wow, I went over 1,000 calories that day. What could I have cut? What could I have done to make that day better? And what can I do to kind of prevent having those type of days? Now, I get if you're quote unquote just enjoying and all that type of stuff, but I'm just saying for the everyday. I'm not talking about when you go out of town. I'm talking about for the everyday life. So you just want to cut back. You want to track again and start dialing it in. Because you can lose 5 pounds fast, but 15, it's time to put the work in. And if you gain 50 pounds, yes, it's a lot. So how I pretty much catch it early, for some people, you might do other things, but this is just what I do. I kind of weigh myself twice a week. I know it might seem extreme, but I'm kind of in this era where I'm trying out different foods and I just want to see how my body reacts to them. And I just want to pay attention more. And it's not really focusing so much on the number. Of course, we're going to see the number, but I just want to see my body and my body composition. So I'm just kind of like weighing myself, twice a week. You can weigh yourself once a week. Like you don't have to do what I do, but I would say at least weighing yourself once a week, because that's going to hold you accountable. You are going to think about, okay, am I going to eat this? I have to weigh in on Wednesday. This is going to reflect. Or if I do eat this, do I have enough time to like bring it in? Or, like that, it gives you some time, and it's more just accountability. And of course, your clothes. If your clothes are snug, that means you've been doing too much. And this is something I had to do too. It was a little hard for me, but it's all good though. I got a food journal. And I really have my own Moesha moment. I play the music. I do all of that. I write down what I ate that day, how much water, how I was feeling. I write down my cravings. And I really pay attention to my cravings, especially throughout the month, because when I look back at my data, I can see, okay, when I'm in this phase of my period, I crave a lot of crunchy stuff. So therefore, I'm going to have, like more rice cakes in the house. I might have more of my pita chips. I'll have more peppers in the house because I'm craving crunchy. And I don't even really want real like a meal. I really just want that crunch. So I'm going to find better alternatives than, just eating whatever I'm quote unquote craving. So yes, but like I said, I track and I have my food journal, and I be really honest. I'm like, okay, did I meal prep this week? Did I eat all my meal preps? Did I eat too much meal preps? Am I snacking more? Did I work out more? Like, what did I do, for that week? That's why you still want to have like a weekly weigh-in. Once you get more locked in, you don't have to do these things because it will be so habitual. You don't have to really worry about it. But I'm just saying, while you're learning and growing. And why it's about somewhat like self-respect, but not being obsessive. And this isn't about being obsessive. It's about just being more intentional. I want to respect the effort that I put in. I want to respect my body of how much work I've put in, how much walking I've done, how much working out and training I have done. I am not going back because I got way too comfortable. So, you don't want to panic over 2 pounds. Don't panic over 2 pounds. But just it's like, okay, what did we do? Like I said, everything is really just being more aware, because with 5 pounds, you can be more aware to dial it back in versus 15 pounds. You can still dial it back in, but depending on the type of person you are, it might be harder, because with me, I have dealt with, overeating. And if I start overeating often, I feel as though my stomach stretches and I don't get full. Like, I could eat a large portion of food and still will feel like I'm not full. So I have to lock and bring myself in like sooner than the average person. I'll just say that. I have to be a little bit more, not intense or aggressive, but I just have to be more intentional, because I know how I can slip, if that makes sense. And look, you've been building for months. You've been working out for months. You've been training. You have been eating, consistent for months or even for a few weeks. You do not want to self-sabotage yourself. You need to make a promise to yourself that you are never starting from scratch again. We are not going around this mountain again. Okay, Buttercup? We are not. And just a simple thing like what to do if you cross the 5 pound line. You need to meal prep that week. Stop. Do not pass go. Do not collect $200. Don't do nothing. You need to go to jail and think about what you've done. But you just need to meal prep that day. Like, bring it in. Track your calories for at least 1 to 3 weeks. And I would say cut out the liquid calories, cut out the snacks, and the mindless extras. Because what I used to do, like I say, you don't get 300 pounds by just eating salads. Well, you probably could. But anyway, you don't get 300 pounds by eating salads. You get 300 pounds by overeating, mindless snacking, emotional eating, all of that. So we dial all that in. We're going to cut the snacks out. We're cutting back out the liquid calories, those sodies, those bougie coffee drinks from Dunkin' Donuts. Well, not Dunkin' Donuts. No, the sugary drinks from Dunkin' Donuts. Yeah, cut all that out. It tastes good, but if you see how much sugar is in those drinks, and some of y'all are drinking 2 of those or like those big ones, But yeah, we're cutting all of that out. So you don't have to hate yourself. You don't have to beat yourself up. Don't beat yourself up. Just take action and take control early. The main thing is we are about prevention in a sense and just maintaining a pretty and healthy girl lifestyle. So if you are maintaining that pretty and healthy girl lifestyle, you can still enjoy all the life and all the different foods, but we just do stuff in moderation. We are mindful. We are intentional about everything that we do. Food is no longer the main character in our life. We are the main character, and we bring the energy because we are the Pretty and Healthy Girl Club, and we are amazing. Like, you never know. Once you lose all that weight, it's like, girl, I didn't know that was under there. You didn't know how confident you would be after losing the weight? Like, yes, and yes, and yes. So this has kept me lean, kept me proud of the body I built. And I'll just say, don't let it slide and don't lie to yourself. You got this, Buttercup. Keep pushing, keep putting up the good fight of faith. You got it. How much weight is your red line before you actually act? If you like this video and it gave you a mindset shift, subscribe if you like talk like this. And until next time, Buttercup, make sure you're drinking your green juice, go for your walk, meal prep your food. It's a sign of self-love. Mind your business and tend to your own business. Mind and tend to the business that pays you. And if it doesn't pay you, darling, then you need to be minding your own business. Catch you in the next one. Bye.